Speaking of breweries, in a world where it feels like local businesses are struggling and closing left and right, especially over the last few weeks in Grand Rapids, one local business is actually expanding. We're talking about Lost Art Brewhouse. They started up during the COVID pandemic, again, a time where things were kind of dicey with local businesses. And now 5 years later, they're expanding in yet another tough time economically for business. Joining us in studio is Brad Lawrence and Austin Sylvester from the brewery. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I know you guys are really excited about this expansion. The expansion being, you guys have a new kitchen on board here. So talk about the kitchen. Why are we expanding with food?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having us. It's great to be here. So we opened almost 5 years ago now, right here in Walker. As a brewery, we didn't have any food. About 2 years in, we opened up a food truck that we kept on site all times, and we started making smashburgers. We kind of just had it.
I've heard about the smashburgers.
Yeah, so it kind of took off. We're just originally going to have it to supplement some food for some people, but people started lining up for the burgers, and little by little it kept growing. And we decided about a year ago that the food truck wasn't able to keep up anymore, and it wasn't ideal, so we decided we were going to tear down some walls and put in our own kitchen right there in the brewery.
Right there, and you're looking at pictures of the new space there. Yeah. Well, now we're looking outside, but there's where you're going to have your patio beer today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So smash burgers, of course, I've heard all about it. They sound great. What other food offerings are you guys having there at the brew house now?
So we've done our smash burgers that we've continued to do inside here in the kitchen. We're also adding chili dogs, hot dogs for the kids. We have smash fries, which are kind of like a loaded fry that we do.
Oh yeah, there's those smash burgers.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks great. Austin, I want to ask you, are you keeping the food truck around? Maybe go to some different spots?
So we have actually two food trucks.
Okay.
One of the trucks, obviously, we're going to get rid of because that was, supplying food to the brewery. So we're going to eventually sell that one. But the other truck we take around to local corporations to do like corporate lunches, stuff like that. So we will keep the one truck to do those. The other truck is gonna go away though. So.
Alrighty, okay. Yeah. Well, at least you guys are still kind of following a little bit of both business models, right? You have your new kitchen, but also you have the food truck that can go out really anywhere to accommodate some of those food truck crowds.
Yeah, and for the past 5 years, you guys having that food truck, I feel like maybe some of your regulars probably associate that food truck being with you guys. What does it mean over the last 5 years to have everybody that has already been with you over the past years, at least, kind of seeing you expand and grow in this way?
It's incredibly humbling, really, because we opened up in the pandemic, as you mentioned. So for us, we opened the doors in a time where it was illegal to have customers in our business.
Right.
We had to wear masks and walk beer out to people. They couldn't even come in and have a beer. So we were supported by our community and the people that wanted us to be there after the pandemic. And we owe so much to those people. So to be able to continue to grow and support that community now and be a gathering space for everybody here in Walker and on the west side, it's just such an amazing feeling to be there for those people and be there for their life events and have people come in and share incredible memories with us there at the brewery. It's a very humbling experience.
Yeah, let's go back 5 years ago, because I know COVID was a tough time for every local business. I mean, even just business in general. You guys started at a very difficult time. I would imagine that the idea for the brewery probably happened before the pandemic, and it kind of, just timing just wasn't great.
Yeah, so it took about 2.5 years to get the business off the ground.
Okay.
By the time you find a location and you build out the whole inside and you get everything in place, all your licensing, you're 2.5 years in.
Right.
We were set to open in April of 2020, just as the world shut down and all the contractors had to walk off and we couldn't get our inspections, and we finally opened in July of that year. But even then, like I said, we couldn't have people inside to have a beer for almost a whole nother year.
Right.
So it was very much a struggle just to keep the doors open. We used to joke about the Dark Knight quote. Some of you were, born or adopted the darkness, but we were born out of it.
Right.
Like we had to kind of learn how to adapt right from the beginning with the struggles.
Yeah.
So there was no craft beer boom, there was no local restaurant boom when we were opening. We've had to kind of work our way up from the bottom step by step, and it's entirely the community around us that allowed that to happen. I'd like to say it was a force of will, but it was the force of the people in the community that supported it.
Yeah, I mean, people really do show out for local businesses when think
They
you know
do.
people are struggling there, especially during the beginning of COVID. The last 5 years, you know, since COVID, and the last couple of years, I'm sure navigating coming out of the pandemic must have been difficult. And now you guys are in kind of an expansion where a lot of local businesses in Grand Rapids, and of course, we don't want to ever talk bad about those businesses because I'm sure they've had their struggles as well. But I'm sure that, you know, this has got to be kind of a bright spot for you guys, being able to thrive in a time that doesn't feel that economically, where there's a lot of economic hardships right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard seeing a lot of those places because they're all our friends. They're,
Yeah.
you know, our compatriots in all of this. You know, we want everybody to succeed. Everybody business that goes out is somebody that had the same dream you did, you know, of owning a
Right.
small business, to be part of a community. So it is tough to see that, but we've always, because of the pandemic, we always try to keep our heads down and just work on what we can do to
Yeah.
make our world better that we're living in right then and there. It's something that you understand the economic struggles that are around you, but at the same time, it doesn't change the way that you go about your business, providing the best product you can for the people in your community.
Yeah, and it's got to feel good, Austin, to have so many people come support you guys, even year after year, after where you guys started to now, right?
Right. Yeah, we have so many different customers that have been just loyal over the years, and we have our brew club members that come in, you know, weekly and talking with us and all that stuff. It's a great feeling to have, you know, such a solid neighborhood of people and surrounding areas too that come in on the regular to support the business.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
On
love
that
supporting
same
local.
note too, with the West Side, there's just such a heart around it. Everybody
Oh, yeah.
around here knows everyone loves the West Side. West Side, Best Side is always such a
Yeah.
common phrase. Did you guys know that you were going to get that kind of community involvement and almost that they would wrap their arms around you when you started?
You don't really understand the West Side until you know, have like a business and see all of the support around you like that. It's incredible. You know, looking at all the different buildings and stuff that the guys looked at while opening the brewery, and then landing in the West Side instead of, you know, the different areas. It was kind of like a blessing in disguise, really, because, you know, who knows if we would have made it through COVID and all that stuff at a different location. So. Yeah, the West Side is great.
Yeah, and now that we are kind of expanding now, that's got to feel good that you guys are at a point where you guys have the momentum here. Can you kind of articulate that? What does that mean for you guys?
Geez, that's tough. I mean, like I said, I wake up every day just incredibly humbled. You know, like, people work so hard for their money in an economy that's not the best all the time, and places closing, like you said, and inflation, whatever it may be. The fact that you could go in there on any afternoon and you see people giving you money to sit down and have something that you've created for them because that brings them joy and happiness and lets them escape for a little bit from the real world and just, you know, be a part of community with their friends and see their neighbors. It's just so humbling and such a joy to see. You know, it really does fill your heart with joy every single day when you go out there and shake people's hands and see everybody there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
awesome.
got to put you you know, in a good place, in a good feeling. Let's talk about the expansion. When can people start having food out of your kitchen, this new kitchen?
So our grand opening is going to be next Tuesday.
Okay.
And we're going to have some different food specials as well as beer specials for the coming weeks. We hope to add, you know, a few different menu items here and there, you know, as we get, you know, our sea legs underneath us and all that stuff. So, but yeah, next Tuesday is our grand opening, and yeah.
Next
Yeah.
Tuesday. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Mark it on the calendar, I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly. How incredibly exciting. And if
yeah.
this is somebody's first time maybe hearing about you guys, I'm very interested to know where the name Lost Art came
Oh, yeah.
from. Do you feel like there's kind of a lost art
lost
that you
art of
brought
brewing?
to life? Yeah.
So yeah, we actually had a different name, and
Oh.
we were contacted right before we opened, again in the pandemic, and somebody said, you know, we've already got a restaurant group with that name. Would you mind changing your name?
Okay.
We've already got our signs made up and everything, but we didn't want to make enemies within
Oh,
the
no.
industry, so we reached out to all of our friends and family and said, do you guys have any recommendations for names? We need a new name, and this is the 11th hour. And Mike, our other partner's father-in-law, came up with that name and gave us a list, and we're like, you know, that really is a great name, and it really does exemplify, even more than our original name, you know, what we're trying to be as a business and a brewery. So Lost Art definitely comes from the idea that, you know, the small community brew house, you know, restaurant, bar, whatever it is, gathering space within your community. It is a lost art, and we've embraced that as part of our ethos ever going forward from there.
All right, that's a good ethos to have as you guys move forward. Of course, you know, local community, we support you guys. We're so excited you guys are doing well. And of course, next Tuesday is when that grand opening for their kitchen will be. Lost Art Brewhouse. What's your website for people to find more information?
LostArtBrewhouse.com or
There you
Lost
go.
Art Brewhouse on social.
All right,
Perfect.
sounds good. Thank you guys so much for coming. And Brad and Austin from Lost Art, we really appreciate
Thank you, guys.
it.